Have a good night.
But yeah, the...
She's not opposed to that.
She's not. But yeah, I think that the silliest thing she and I did together last year, there were a couple of cabinets in Gaming House that had been painted over, and in such a way that like the paint had sealed the cabinets.
Oh. How would you do that?
I don't know, but Gene figured out that these were cabinets and not just decorative panels on the wall.
Oh.
And so she got her pocket knife out, which she's technically not allowed to have according to university rules. But I had one too, so I wasn't.
Yeah. But you weren't getting caught.
Yeah. And she starts prying at the cabinets.
That's stainless steel. That's gonna break pretty fast.
She eventually was like, I need more stabby things to finish this project. And I'm like, I have just the tool for this.
Did you find that?
No. That is not the appropriate tool.
What was?
A stainless steel katana blade that I have lying in my trunk.
Just the blade, not the
Well, I had a friend last year who gave it to me as a ironic birthday present. Like, it was such a shitty sword that it was just giving me the meme of a very shitty sword.
Oh, I see.
And
because it was so poorly made, you
yeah.
just break immediately.
And then we discussed how we could go about trying to take the bits here and making something better.
Oh.
So we disassembled it, and eventually we plan to mount the blade on a better handle so that it can at least be used for violencing something once before it breaks. So I just had the blade lying there, but it wasn't sharp, so you could just grab it. You can just grab it by the blade and use it as a makeshift crowbar.
Well,
And you know, if anybody asked, it was a makeshift crowbar, not a sword.
yeah, there you go. Well, did it work?
It did,
Oh.
and we got it open,
Nice.
including a few large metal bits that had been hiding in there that I stored in my trunk for the purposes of making improvised weapons or something. And then apparently, when Jean got to Lawrence at the beginning of this school year, she found that they had sealed those cabinets again.
Come on. What do they have against those cabinets?
I don't know, but she's going to be prying them open again, so...
What dark secret are they hiding in those things?
I mean, if they're hiding something there, it's clearly hidden not just by a cabinet one can't open, because we opened it, and doesn't look like there's anything in there.
Oh man. Kind of hoping there'd be some sort of secret.
No, if you're looking for secrets at Lawrence, you have to go to the morgue in Coleman.
The morgue?
There is a...
You say comb the morgue?
Well, one
Not
of
to say Coleman.
one of the dormitories is called Coleman Hall.
Oh.
But there is a room whose official name is the morgue.
Why?
It is a room that is 99.9% of the time locked. Also, the name the morgue is written on the inside of the door, not the outside.
Inside? Well, how do you know that?
Because when I was moving in for my freshman year, it was open. I have never seen it open since. It is always locked.
What was in there?
Nothing. It was like an unfinished room. It's like a store. I eventually talked to one of the students who worked as a groundskeeper for a while and mentioned it to him, and he told me that it's just a very large storage room.
Oh, I see. With a dark ass.
Yep. It's the morgue.
It would be so mean if one knew how to lockpick. Pick that thing. take like one of those anatomical skeleton things you get for biology, put it just inside the door, and just turn off all the lights, close it, and leave it unlocked. So the next person who comes to it and opens that just right there.
And then they turn
Or
around.
better yet, leaning up against the door. So that as soon as they open out or in?
Opens out.
Yes. Leaning up against the door, so as soon as they open it, skeleton.
Suddenly a skeleton.
Well, we got some sort of tripwire to play a spooky, scary skeletons when the thing opens.
Oh, it's getting too good. But yeah, the
Graveyard? More like raveyard.
yeah, the morgue is pretty up there in silly areas that I know about.
I like it.
Another one. There is a street up over here. You go this way.
Yep.
And it only exists for like 3 or 4 blocks.
Okay.
But it goes from Rice Street to the cemetery.
Okay.
And I don't think it continues after the cemetery. It's called Litchfield Avenue.
Litchfield?
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. I'm not sure whether Litchfield Avenue came before the cemetery, or the cemetery came before Litchfield Avenue. But I feel like somebody was making a big joke. Like,
Richfield, more like Litchfield.
Like, it's just like that meme is just so strong. And it's just like solidified now in the city planning of St. Paul. Like, this is not a meme that's going away.
Have you heard this one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop playing that.
Okay, we got the last of that wood, except for the stuff that's poker material. So.
Oh, okay. Okay, make this green.
So yeah, now we just let it burn.
Nice. I really like this thing.
Yeah, the Smash Ultimate main theme does a very good job of feeling like a Smash Bros. Theme, but also being distinct.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I cannot successfully move this around yet.
Where are we trying to put it?
About there.
The true superpower of teamwork. You see the new fighter?
Another new one?
Uh-huh. I'll show you the video.
Yeah, I was figuring there might be something new and interesting in the Nintendo Direct, but I didn't get all the way through it before.
What? There's a new one?
New Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, there's another one?
There was one that came out like a couple days ago.
I thought it was gonna come out and then it didn't. Huh. Smash Bros. Let me turn this thing off. It has an off button. Oh look. See the video. Hold on.
Okay.
probably it if that's okay. I've got some left. Okay, here we go. Have you played Animal Crossing?
Nope.
I haven't either. This is apparently like the mayor's assistant or something. Well, I guess he plays the mayor. And that's the villager. That's her. I thought it was going to be Rossetti, actually.
Looks like she's a Echo Fighter villager.
Surprisingly, no. She actually is her own fighter. Similar, but
Yeah.
not exactly the same.
Okay.
Yeah, just one of those. Okay, sure, why not?
I mean, not a candidate for my new main, but
Right, yeah, but still fun.
yeah.
Kind of. I'm glad that they're including characters like that after Simon.
Yeah.
You know, going very, very realistic and dark, and now we're going the opposite direction. The entirely opposite direction.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Zelda's new design?
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I didn't like it at first.
Yeah, I was
but
kind of weirded out by it.
But I'm coming around to like it a lot more than the old Zelda.
Yeah, brighter, cheerier,
Yeah.
and more like the Zelda in Breath of the Wild too. Splendor.
Yeah. So
I do hope.
specifically not based on Breath of the Wild Zelda on the line of reasoning that Breath of the Wild Zelda not much of a fighter in any capacity.
Researcher. Who knows? They might have an alternate outfit.
I think. I mean, they might include more outfits, but like there was a demo version of Smash that came out, and in the demo they had a lot of alternate skins, but still didn't have a wild skin.
They showed all of them.
I we can't really say it's all of them until the game comes out,
I
but
actually like went through and did every single character.
not all of the characters I know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There might be one of her with like a royal blue dress, which I know she had at one point in the game. Because that would make more sense than doing the whole like pants outfit. That would just completely change how the model and everything. Yeah.
Bit more work.
I like the new Final Smash. That ceiling move. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Our powers combined. We are the windbags.
But yeah, I think I might actually give Zelda a try, see if
I think I will
she
too.
works with my playstyle. I'm not expecting her to, unless the slight tweaks they did on her moves end up being very significant.
I'm guessing not. But I think I've just recently I realized that I think it's kind of fun to try something that's just completely different from my playstyle, just because it sets me back to the point where it's like I can have the kind of fun and brawl where it's like I don't know exactly how it works.
Mm-hmm.
There's always that little, not quite understanding what this does or when it does it. I'm enjoying that. I'm doing that with Robin. I like Robin. He's fun. There's so much variety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to play Robin a lot in multiplayer brawls.
Well, like 4?
4 or more.
Yeah, okay.
Like, just because at that point, like, there's enough people running around that I can go hide in a corner and
just cause chaos
and just charge up my lightning attack and then just send a lightning bolt across the screen and hit a couple people.
The one that does the X thing?
No, like the fully charged version
of it. Oh, the Thoron, yeah. I think he shouts Thoron. Whatever that is.
Yeah.
Did you know the villager can pocket that?
Yeah.
Entire beam just goes.
I think my favorite thing for villager to pocket is still another villager's tree.
That is fun to watch and just play catch with it.
Yep.
I really like this one thing. I did not realize you could do this. Villager, what? What are you gonna say? What?
I'm not sure if Snake's gonna still have the throw the box off taunt.
Oh yeah, pocket the box.
That deals the 1 point of damage, but ultimate meme, villager pocketing that, and like just pulling it out at some point in the battle to just like bop somebody and stun them.
That'd be good. Did you know like Greninja's taunt does stuff? Or he squirts water out of his hands? There's people like right next to him, like literally right next to him, it'll do stuff to him.
Yeah. I did not realize that.
I didn't either. But Villager can pocket Zelda's Phantom Knight thing. It is hilarious to watch. The entire night just goes.
Also, apparently this never came up in my time playing Smash 4, but apparently, you know how Snake had the like intel thing on his stage?
Yeah.
If it was just a 2-person fight?
Uh-huh.
Apparently Pit has that.
Yes, he does. I've tried it. Yeah, he can do that.
Yep. I'm hoping that both Pit and Snake have this now.
Oh, that'd be nice. I wonder how that would work with those stages that can, merge. Like, what if you did it on the stage right before it merged, and then had that conversation coming up, then Snake did his? Could you have it both going on at the same time, I wonder, if would one override the other?
Don't know.
Would it just break the game?
I mean, in the age of updating, it might break the game for a week before they fix it.
Yeah, I am very, very okay with this being the last Smash game.
Yep.
That would be very nice. Oh, flames. We should collapse this a little more. What do you think?
Probably.
Oh, sorry, watch out.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna quite get all the way through this giant log today.
Yeah, that's alright. Woo! John. Okay, that's good. You know, I tried to go back to that Sonic and the Chaos Emeralds Weebly thing, whatever it was, wet paint.
Oh.
I couldn't find it. I wasn't sure what the exact URL was.
I can't remember either. Man, that's...
Apparently, wet paint is now a gossip site, which is annoying.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not sure how they were making money originally, so...
Yeah. Cool.
Like, yeah, they had ads, but... I'm not...
Never just... No, it wasn't just you and me. It was definitely one time. Right?
Wet paint stuff?
Yeah. We were adminning. There was one other guy besides us. No, I think we banned him eventually because it was too much.
I mean, there was the whole question mark 13 fiasco.
Well, there was that. Question mark 8. Oh, that was so much fun. Did you ever suspect it? I mean, you must have.
No.
You didn't?
No.
You never knew? I wasn't expecting that.
You're too straight-laced a person for me to expect something that devious from you.
Oh,
I'm a
sneaky little guy.
Like, if I was partnered with like any of my other friends, I would have come to suspect that. But not you.
The perfect storm. I don't even know how it started. I don't remember. I just remember, hey, you can create a new user account. Fun. So I think you knew for sure that the other guy was me. Didn't you? Because I had like 3 going at once.
Maybe.
Because there was me, and I don't even remember what my...
Okay, yeah, I do think I vaguely remember.
It was like Tails 25, and the other guy, like Tiger something or other. And then there was question mark 13, and his is the only, password that I could remember. I think it was just no life in the void or something like that. I was just trying to be as dark and edgy about it as I could, just complete opposite of who I actually was. I really messed things up, didn't I?
You got me good. You got me real good.
I mean, well, I didn't really mean to. I was just having fun. Just like pretending to be somebody else and like changing the entire layout of the website and the colors and the name and everything.
It was a good meme.
It was fun. That's actually one of my emails now. I have like my normal email, Sunset Storm, and then I've got like this alternate email that I use for like, creating accounts that I know I won't use very much, or ones that I expect to receive junk mail from.
Okay.
And the username is q.mark13. THIRTEN.
Okay.
I've decided that my alias is Quentin 13. No longer Mark. My alias. Secret identity. This identity is obviously not secret. I got something darker and shadier.
Yes. Obviously. Everyone needs a secret identity.
Yeah.
Your secret identity also needs a secret identity.
Yep. He needs a day job to cover up his secret identity. Do you have a secret identity?
Well, I told you. It wouldn't be the secret.
Yeah. Quentin gets all of the eBay ads and Amazon promos and things.
Fun.
I just shunt it over to him. Oh, thanks, Grant. I did submit the assignment and just now responded saying, "Oh yeah, this is how you do it." There's not a whole lot of time now.
I mean,
There's
what,
still-
like 9:20?
Oh yeah, there's still time.
Yeah,
I still have
you know.
2.5 hours.
A professor expecting his students to be doing the assignment right up until it's due, when it's due at midnight, I don't feel like that's illogical for him to expect, given what I know of college students.
Yeah.
Midnight is not that late to be staying up to finish the assignment,
Oh no.
and therefore, most of the class will not have finished the assignment.
I mean, it's a 10 problem long, and he assigned it 2 weeks ago. And they weren't even that hard. Just trying to give us as much of a head start as possible, and I started it, I think, 3 days ago.
Exactly, for 2 weeks and you didn't even start until 3 days ago.
Alright. I put the date and procrastinate. It's not fair. I killed myself. Dang it. My nemesis is me. Well, it's not nearly as bombastic as the first fire, but it's still a nice fire.
Yeah, there's something good about a more chill fire. I think I'm gonna bring the camera a bit close.
I mean, to be
Zoom
fair,
in on it.
We burned down my entire deck.
Yes. I mean, I had burned some of your deck previously, but yeah, it was most of your deck that we burned all at once.
Right. And that is just a great story, you know? My friend and I, we burned my entire deck down in
Yep.
one day. Only problem is we can't say we did it accidentally.
I don't know. Isn't it maybe a bit better if it's on purpose?
We burned my deck down on purpose. Premeditated self-arson.
I believe that's called insurance fraud.
That's exactly right. Is it possible, like get retroactive insurance so I can collect on it?
I think that's also a type of insurance fraud.
Yeah, but it's a new one. That makes it interesting.
Yes, you can go to jail for two separate, completely different types of insurance fraud at the same time.
Like the next generation of crime.
Yeah.
And we are the pioneers.
There. Put.
Oh!
Oof,
Is it
that's right. Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Yeah. I did
Okay.
it. I was just making sure it didn't get left out. Because of all the things that could sprout legs in the middle of the night, the axe is not a good one on that list.
Yeah, but something with legs is probably fine.
Especially since that just makes it easier for everything else in the garage to sprout legs and walk off in the middle of the night.
You know how you keep somebody from cutting down a tree?
Cut it down first.
That is a very good answer. But no. You know how?
Huh.
Come next. I like your answer better. Have you seen Black Panther yet?
Yeah.
I just saw it recently. Campus Green. I liked it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Not my favorite Marvel movie, but
Mine neither. But it was still pretty cool.
yep, definitely worth the time and money.
Yeah. But, you know, people calling it the best. I don't really think it was the best. I'm not really sure what the best is. Original Avengers, I guess.
Have you seen Infinity War yet?
No. I've been meaning to, but just haven't got the chance yet.
I think it's definitely one of the best. Like, there are some difficulties just due to the fact that they're trying to literally get just about everyone from the MCU in a movie and all make them feel like they did something relevant.
Well, no wonder it's in 2 parts. Well, it is annoying because it's such a popular movie. There ain't no way that you're avoiding spoilers.
Nope.
No way. Especially when it becomes a meme. That's just annoying. Now it's everywhere. You know how I feel about that? I don't feel so good. I don't even know what that's referring to, but I have a guess.
What's your guess?
I mean, I've seen like bits and pieces and like profile pictures, you know, people taking their own profile pictures and like dissolving them off one side. So I have a feeling it has something to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard tell of everybody but Captain America and Iron Man being killed. Literally everybody. Well, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but
I mean,
right, that's annoying.
I guess it's good that you've heard that everybody's died.
Oh, good. Somebody said that.
Like that's some good misinformation there. Some people have died. So out of the list that you've heard of, some of that list is wrong.
Some of it is wrong. Good. Some of it's still alive. Well, you know, probably my favorite one.
Who's your favorite one?
Bye. I like the one picture I've seen. The invite to this. I was on it. I like that one.
I mean,
Well, you know, it's a superhero movie.
there is a part 2 to that.
Right. And talking superheroes here.
Yes.
Popular superheroes. Not gonna die. That's the frustrating thing about popular superheroes. There's no cost whatsoever because they will eventually come back. Somehow, they will eventually come back.
I mean, at least in terms of the MCU, like,
That's true.
they can't just bring back an actor necessarily.
Yeah, especially if the actor's
So, like,
aging out, he doesn't want to come back.
So, like, there's a much higher chance that they successfully keep a character dead in the MCU.
That is
At
true.
least until at some point they decide to reboot it.
Right.
Because as my dad pointed out, if they successfully make it through another 10 years and do another big arc, just like the lead up to Infinity War, like, at that point they could just go ahead and reboot it and it would be fine. Because that would literally have been longer than the comics have ever gone without rebooting themselves.
Yeah. I mean, Spider-Man already did it. Twice.
3 times?
No, just twice. Just the...
Oh, yeah,
The Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah.
I still think that the original Spider-Man 2 was my favorite. Growing up, he was always my favorite superhero. He's kind of the everyman type guy.
Yeah.
I like the symbiotes. They were cool. Obviously. Obviously, I like them.
Yeah, it's not like we totally stole that for a storyline we were doing at some point.
No.
We never did something like that.
No, y'all.
All of our ideas are 100% unique and never ripping anything off.
Oh, yeah, original characters.
TM. Do not steal.
Do not steal. Yeah. We're just like geniuses, really.
Yeah.
Obvious. Right. Yeah, bug spray. I should have thought of that. Guess that seeps through his shirt. I don't even know.
But yeah, as a...
Did you get Polar Man from something, or was that your own idea?
I mean, Polar Man was basically, in my mind, just taking Mega Man, giving him a white skin, and saying he has frost powers now.
Which, I mean, you could probably do in one of the games anyway.
Only one?
Only one. I thought it was based on a Power Ranger.
No, that's the Polar Rangers storyline.
Oh. I don't know where I got Big Four right here. Yes, I do. But it's embarrassing. I'm telling that to you.
That's fair. That's fair.
I went through several names before I finally settled on Big Four. Catman was the first. I like cats. I like superheroes. Catman. I can do that. It's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Then I stole a name from a Spyro game and named him that. And then I realized, oh yeah, I can't do that. You know, about 3 years later, I realized, that seems kind of wrong. So I don't even know what I did. You know, just pick a name off the top of my head. Okay, well, Big Four. Sure, why not? And that's how it went. Obviously, I'm not going to do anything with it. It's just kind of that fun thing that you have to roll around in your head every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean... The Vicor stuff, like, from the bits of it that you've explained to me well enough that I still remember, like, there's enough there you could do something with it. It would require multiple revisions of the lore before you got something worth doing.
Yeah. The silliness. Maybe a good kid story, maybe.
Yeah. Let's restart the camera. Here it is about time. Okay. But yeah, as a certain YouTuber who focuses on role-playing game tips, like tips for GMing role-playing games, one thing he says quite frequently: you're only as good as the obscurity of the stuff you steal from.
That's a good way of putting it.
Like, you're never actually going to be original.
Probably not. No.
But you can steal from obscure things instead of popular things, and people will think you're very original.
I'm sure there's still some original ideas out there somewhere. Maybe it's just that.
I don't know.
Maybe the same law still applies, except that the things are so obscure that they'd never really made it outside of somebody's computer.
I mean, there are things that can be called original, but you don't really, like, usually most of those are caused by, like, finding something original starts by taking something ripping off something and running with your twist on that until you actually find something out of that is unique.
That's a good point.
And then somebody rips that off and rips that unique thing off and runs on a twist of that until they find something unique. So, like,
I know it's silly, but I got really mad at the Avatar movies for ripping me off. Like, obviously, there's no possible way that they could have done that. But it's like, in my mind, they stole it. It's like, that's not right.
I mean, I've had
I had that first. Give it back.
I have had a thing where it seems like, especially through high school, like me having an idea for like a piece of a video game or a movie that like I obviously couldn't do anything to start making at that point because I had no skills whatsoever. Like it seemed like within a year or two, someone would have successfully brought that into the world.
And usually better than we could have done it.
Yeah.
I felt the same way with Naruto in Breath of the Wild. That was kind of what I pictured Valar and his race to look like. It was exactly like it. And I thought, well, what's the point now? It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
What were you thinking of? What were you thinking of in specific?
Oh, the one that sticks into my head the best is, well, there are two ideas that I can remember off the top of my head. One was what I called a second-person shooter. The mechanics basically being you can only see through the eyes of your enemies.
How in the world? How did you control yourself? All your moves would be mirrored.
Yes.
That's hard. Well, who stole that?
Oh, and like no one particularly popular. I just a couple years later I found out that there was a Flash game that was a simplistic version of that game.
That's interesting.
And then there is another idea I had for a game. Basically, soon after I learned that Guitar Hero was a thing that existed and had nothing to do with actually teaching you how to play guitar, I had the idea for a vaguely Guitar Hero-esque game where you actually just plugged in an electric guitar and it would teach you how to play guitar.
Well, that would be nice.
And apparently somebody did a video game vaguely like that. No, of course I haven't played this video game because I don't actually have interest in playing a game like that, or interest in creating a game like that.
Yeah.
It was an idea that popped into my head, and then I dropped because I was like, I'm never gonna do anything with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as Solomon said, there is nothing new under the sun.
Yep.
Except maybe us.
Maybe.
Certainly you.
I am an odd one.
You are an awesome anomaly.
I mean, I wouldn't claim there has never been anyone like me.
Oh.
Just
Exactly.
if there was two people like me at the same time, the world would not still be here. So I'm at least fairly unique.
Maybe there's like another career in China because that's enough distance between you that
Maybe.
the world will still be stable.
Maybe. But if so, that lends credence to our theory from the last fire that the end of the world is fairly soon.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time before one of us two decides to start traveling enough and bumps into the other.
Yeah. Rear Belter will encounter Rearg. The world will collapse. Yep. Fold in on itself. And then we can get started on the new world.
Yep. Look it up.
You don't believe it? Thus spake Greer. The world began, and then there was Adam. Then came Jesus, and the world was redeemed. And then came Greer, and the world ended.
Well,
Look in.
continues the long tradition of messing everything up.
Oh, but you can be like the searcher of this world.
Yeah.
I
mean-
am your wreck.
I mean that like the one argument I had back in the old version of my ridiculous multiverse for justifying why everything centered around me was it's okay because everything's also my fault. I'm just trying to fix the problems that I caused in this story. Just made very big ones.
Oh, I love that. Isn't that be a great response if somebody says, hey, the story's all about you? Oh yeah, but it's also my fault. That's a good idea. We're singing a very interesting song in the choir this year called Stomp Your Foot by Aaron Copeland. It has the weirdest verse I think I've ever heard in a chorus song. I mean, except for the coconut nut, that was probably the weirdest. The coconut nut is a giant nut. If you eat too much, you get very fat. Now the coconut nut is a big nut, but this delicious nut is not a nut. Why would you make a choral song about that and actually perform it professionally? Like from actual people.
Yep.
Anyway. Right, yeah, Stomp Your Foot. So, I mean, it's like an early American piece, or at least it was written to be an early American piece. And we're doing that's kind of like the theme of our concert. So, sort of like a square dancing choral song.
Okay.
Also hoedown. And the verses are just the weirdest things. I think the first verse is men must labor to be happy, plowing fields and plucking corn or something like that. But women love a life that's easy, like mending quilts and milking cows or something like, churning butter, milking cows, feeding sows, sewing, cleaning, mopping, raising families. It's like, and then the other next verse is, ladies love their fine amusement, putting patches in a quilt, but men prefer to bend their shoulder to something that will stand when built. And well, meanwhile, the ladies have this verse about doing hard work, and the men have this verse about like winking, whistling, dancing, playing games. Holy cow, we're gonna ruffle some feathers with this one. But to be fair, the men
It will
also
be
have,
easier to count the number of feathers not ruffled than the number of
Right.
feathers ruffled.
Exactly. It'll just be this collective sound of from the audience. But to be fair, the men also have raising families at the end of their verse, which I like. Like a joint effort, not just one person. But I thought that was hilarious. When we first heard that, we were listening to it in choir, and we were all listening to it at the same time. We saw that verse, we all just looked at each other like, we're singing this in a concert? On our campus? When people can blame us? Like, we're not just singing it in some remote corner of America? But actually, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I like it. I mean, I do wish the men had a little bit more like actual work in their verse instead of just like playing games and messing around or putting up their feet. But, you know, it's a song of the times. We have so many other good pieces too. We have Gershwin. We have Gershwin melody. We have medley. That's the word. You ever heard Rhapsody in Blue?
No.
It's a nice song. Old American classic. You might have heard it just in like commercials or something. Saxophone, trumpet
Can't say I remember it from anywhere, but sounds like the sort of thing that I could easily have heard and not remember.
It was in an old Disney movie called Fantasia 2000. You ever see that?
No.
Just a classical music, well, just music in general put to animations.
I believe I saw the like original Fantasia.
Yeah.
But
The
not
roller
a-
shapes.
Not Fantasia 2000.
Yeah, that was like the new version. In the year 2000. And
Who'd have thunk it?
yeah, a lot of 2000 based things back then. Windows 2000, Fantasia 2000, Y2K. IDK, that was a big one. Must have been really anticlimactic for all those people who were panicking. Nothing happens. They had prepared and prepared for that moment. They were ready, and they were ready to see the rest of the world just go up like scrubs.
To be fair, there were also a lot of people who did a lot of preparing to make sure nothing happened.
Well, yeah, exactly. And all the computers just went right on to the next one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I guess that's good.
I mean, to be
Brings a
fair,
little bit more drama.
the reason they all just went on to the next year just fine was because the field of computer programming spent like a decade freaking out about how they were about needing to update all of the databases that use ears everywhere to start working with.
Wow.
Like, it was a big project to update all of that infrastructure.
So they actually did have to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just that the computers just figured it out and went right on with it.
No.
And they didn't realize. Wow. So there was actually some preparation that kept that from happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better about that. You know, at first I thought, wow, well, that's some shoddy research there. Now it makes a lot more sense. Oh, this is coming from a guy who just realized like 6 months ago that the power on symbol is an I and an O. Or a 1 and a 0.
Huh. I just realized that now.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't know what I thought it was earlier, like E symbol or like they just sort of
I mean,
assumed it was the on symbol.
I just interpreted it as that is the on symbol.
Yeah.
It is the symbol for power.
Yeah.
Why is it the symbol? Because it's the symbol.
Yeah. It's just the
Just
way
like I never like would, if nobody had ever pointed it out to me, I never would consciously know that the save icon is a floppy disk.
Yeah, it's a floppy disk.
Like,
You didn't know that?
I mean, I never figured it out myself. I heard it.
I mean,
At some
it's
point.
obvious once you see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just sort of part of our culture. You don't really think about it.
Like, it makes sense why in ye olden days it would be a floppy disk, and then once they started using CDs instead of floppy disks, they won't bother updating the symbol once it just becomes ingrained in how you use the...
There's a lot of kids these days that don't even know what a floppy disk is.
Yeah.
Like at one point, somebody used a 3D printer to print out a floppy disk, I said, hey guys, look, I made a 3D print of the save icon. It's literally the same size, same shape, exactly like a floppy disk. There's a whole bunch of people sighing in the comments.
Yep.
Also, the word pound, when referring to the tic-tac-toe symbol, is probably going to just die out eventually.
Eventually. It's
Yeah.
basically dead now.
Oh,
It's
just-
a hashtag.
Well, the robocalls still use it. Dude, press pound. And people just stare at their phones like,
I suppose.
what do I do? Which one of these is pound?